Greetings, Lumen Scholars. It's week 3 and this is your Tuesday video. I have another picture book I want to share with you. We've been talking about some events in recent history with the ocean tsunami, 9/11 terrorist attack, and Mars rover, and some of the things that we've learned from that exploration. Well, when you think about the history, and one of the reasons why we think about history and study history is that so we can influence the future, and so we can make better choices in the future. And each of you are writing your own story right now and creating your own future. You're also writing an autobiography, talking about some of the things that have happened to you. But really, you're writing your own story and deciding what your future is going to be like. And so I want to share with you this picture book that talks about someone's guesses about what the future is going to be like. This book is called 2030, so 15 years from now. This is Amy Zuckerman and James Daly's guesses about what it will be like to be a kid in 15 years. A day in the life of tomorrow's kids. So let's take a look at, I've got the illustrations ready to go here, I hope. Make sure I'm still mirroring. Okay. What do you think 15 years is going to hold? What kind of developments, inventions, technology are going to be around then when you're 25 or 26 or 27 years old? Let's read the story and see what their guesses are like. It happens every day. Things change. You turn on the TV and before long there will be a commercial for something new and improved. Car styles change, clothing styles change, all because people and their tastes change. If you ask your parents what life was like when they were kids, you might be surprised to hear that they didn't have many of the things you enjoy today. No cell phones, no computers or DVDs. Some never had VCRs. Ask your grandparents about their childhoods and you learn that some didn't even have TV. They listened to programs on the radio and their imagination provided the pictures. Every day, scientists, engineers, and other people with big imaginations come up with new ideas that change our lives. Before you know it, one of their inventions might appear in your home or school. What will a kid's life be like many years from now? What sort of inventions will change kids' daily lives? No one can predict exactly what's going to happen next, but by looking at our world today and asking some very smart scientists, engineers, and futurists, we came up with a credible idea of what life might be like in the future. So buckle your seatbelt and get ready. It's time to take a trip to the year 2030. Morning light splashes into your bedroom as you wake up. You yawn and stretch, then notice an orange glow coming from the glass ball that sits on your night table. Someone is trying to reach you on the data orb. Oomph! Your dog Willie jumps on you, barks once, and then says in perfect English that he wants to go for a walk. Willie isn't really talking. What you hear is a voice synthesizer attached to his collar. This little computer translates his barks and body movements into simple words and phrases that tell you when he's hungry, playful, or just wants company. Time to get dressed. Your clothes may not look much different from the clothes of today, but they can do things that today's jeans and jackets won't do. Tiny solar discs woven right into the material store sunlight and turn it into electricity, enough to run all of your portable electronic gadgets and games. That's pretty cool, right? Making breakfast is easy in 2030 because smart appliances, things like toasters and microwaves, can sense the world around them through sounds, voice, and body heat. These devices use a special computer language and wireless signals to send messages back and forth. You want your toast golden brown and eggs over easy? No problem. Everything's ready when you come down to breakfast. Look, there's Cleanerella, your house cleaning robot. It can move around the house and do simple tasks like vacuuming and dusting. House cleaning robots use artificial intelligence, computer programs that give them the ability to make decisions just like people. Tiny sensors embedded in Cleanarella's cover transmit infrared light beams that bounce off objects in the robot's path to keep it from bumping into furniture or running over toys. Dad's already downstairs in his office. Like many workers in 2030, he runs a home-based business using the internet, which allows people to live and work in the same place. The world outside does not look very different, but there are houses and trees and the sky is still blue, so it isn't the same. For one thing, there are more kids. In 2030, there are over 6 million more elementary school kids in the United States. That means for every 5 kids there are today, there is an extra one. There are many more adults, too. The odds of you celebrating someone's 100th birthday are 3 times greater than they were just 30 years ago. Most people live in suburbs outside the cities in areas called cluster developments. These are houses and apartments that are connected to a common yard or playground. The development in which you live is also an eco-village. Everything in your eco-village, from the materials used to build houses to the way the lawn is maintained, is good for the earth. The water used to wash your hands is filtered and then recycled to grow plants. The sun's rays are collected through solar discs that are built into the roofs and then converted to electricity to light and cool the homes. Before long, you arrive at school. The building looks normal, but the way it's made is different. The materials used aren't wood, steel, or even plain concrete. They're special plasticized concrete blocks with built-in wiring and plumbing. They snap together just like toy bricks. You can even move the walls around to change the shape of the room. Looks like they're Legos. We got a Lego school. On the surface of the building windows is a thin coating of cells that collects energy to help control the building's temperature. In social studies class, your teacher asked you to find an article on your computer about Central Africa. By 2030, the web has become so enormous that you need a tool called a personal agent to help you. This human-like three-dimensional figure asks you all sorts of questions and then gets you just what you need, sort of like your very own butler. Then your teacher announces it's time for a trip to ancient Egypt in northern Africa. The room darkens and screens drop down from the ceiling. Suddenly, pyramids appear from all sides. Seems like you can walk up and touch them. These are giant holograms. Special photographs made with the aid of a laser. Wouldn't that be cool? We could do that in school. The class down the hall is in the Multimedia Production and Research Center. The kids are creating special video presentations of their families. Many of them have relatives all over the world, because in 2030 it's common for people from different countries and ethnicities to marry. One girl goes online to China and asks her dad's sister to say a few words she can record. Then she reaches her mom's cousin in the Dominican Republic, agrees to transmit some video clips and native music. The bell rings for recess. You go straight to virtual batting practice in the gym and pick up a plastic bat and a virtual reality headset. Tired of batting practice? There's still time to join a bunch of kids on the smart trampoline. Looks like a regular trampoline, but there are hundreds of tiny electronic sensors woven into the material that instantly measures the weight, bounce, and strength of each jumper. The surface changes from loose to firm to give the best jumps possible. Everyone's bouncing at different heights and speeds, and it's just like flying. Bells ring, and it's time for lunch. In 2030, food can be altered so that your brain thinks that even the foods you hate to eat, like Brussels sprouts, taste delicious. On your tray is a tofu burger that tastes like a real hamburger. Your soy drink looks and tastes like a double chocolate shake, and your broccoli spears look and taste just like French fries. That's your watch reminding you to beam your health information to the doctor's office for your appointment on Saturday. Push a button and the health gauge on your watch automatically sends information on your blood pressure, your body temperature, and even your feelings to your doctor's office. At the end of the school day, Grandma picks you up in her automated car. You're off to the mall to shop for clothes. Most cars in 2030 are equipped with eco-friendly fuels that reduce pollution and a satellite-controlled global positioning system that talks to smart roadways. That's already coming true, isn't it? Almost everything you buy can be ordered on the web at home, but still it's fun to go to the mall, which is the size of a small town. There are moving tracks so you don't have to walk the long distances from shop to shop, and all sorts of streaming web hologram advertisements line the walls.
At the shop, a clerk uses a handheld scanner to direct infrared beams at you to determine your exact measurement in seconds. This information is fed into a computer that creates a three-dimensional image of your body. You can dress the computer model in any style of clothing you want. The fabric, color, and even buttons and zippers are your choice. We'll deliver it to you by Saturday, the salesperson says with a smile. Home, finally. Grabbing some peanut butter crackers, you take off to meet some buddies at the skateboard park. Once you're inside, a friend lets you try some kick flips on his smart magnetized skateboard. It's amazing. It hovers over the ground just like a magic carpet. Hold two magnets together and then bring one close to the other. One side is drawn toward the first magnet. When you flip the magnet around, the other side is pushed away or repelled. That's how the smart skateboard works. Powerful magnets are placed under the floor to create a force field that actually pushes your board into the air. Lean forward and you're on your way. That sounds pretty fun. After the park, it's back home, do your homework, and then eat. You can't wait to finish dinner so you can go to the Eco Village's Fanta Trek Center. There's a special room outfitted with three-dimensional videos, plus touch and smell technology, so you feel like you've entered a fantasy world. Tonight's program is a return to the dinosaurs, and once you enter, you feel like you're in a prehistoric times. It's late when you return home. You don't even complain when Mom and Dad tell you it's time for bed. It sure has been a busy day. Your toothbrush contains toothpaste that squirts right into your mouth, which makes the whole brushing thing a little messy. Yawning, you toss on some pajamas and slip under the covers. Your data orb reminds you that it's almost time to go to sleep. So, before you turn out the lights, you decide to reach for your favorite type of entertainment. It's light and easy to handle. The insides are soft and perfect for viewing, and has provided kids and adults entertainment for many centuries. You drift off to sleep reading a book. I guess books will never go out of style, students. What did you think? What part of that sounded the most exciting to you? Did you like when it talked about the magnetic skateboard or the smart trampoline? Did you like when it talked about the mall or the clothing? How you'll have different solar panels in your clothes that'll run all your electronic gadgets so you don't have to plug them in all the time. Maybe the smart appliances that can cook your food just the way you like it. That's some fun ideas, and maybe some of you are going to invent some of those things when we think about the future. We're now going to move into our language arts lesson, and we're going to play a quick game. Okay, we talked yesterday about how there are basic structure to each of our sentences. We usually have a subject, a verb, and then a direct object. And today I want to talk a little bit more about verbs. Okay, how many of you have played the game Categories before? Well, I have some tiles here, and I'm going to choose one and put it up on our board here for just a minute. And I'm going to give you 1 minute to write as many verbs as you can think of that starts with that letter. So let's just do an example first, okay? So we'll start our timer. How many verbs can you think of that start with T? Well, we've got talk, that's an action, toss, trek. Is trek a verb? Yeah, you can go trekking, or she trekked through the parking lot. How about touch or teach? How about, what are some other actions? Tramp. How about tell or tattle, or done. Did I get 10? We're going to see how many you can come up with, students. Think of some unusual and fun verbs. Any action you can think of. If it's something you can do, then it's a verb, an action verb. Okay? Here's our next letter. Get a piece of paper out, just a scrap piece of paper that's in front of you on the computer. And let's try to come up with some verbs. Okay, our letter is C. Okay, I'm going to start the timer. You write as fast as you can. On your mark, get set, go. I'm going to write 2.
I'm going to have some to share with you. I can find a pencil. Time. Okay, here's the ones I got, students. Cook, clean, cough, choke, coo, like a bird or a pigeon or a baby would. Can, like to can fruit. And your mom cans all the peaches in the fall and the harvest. And create. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did anybody beat me with more than 7? Good job. Okay, let's do another one. And this time, we've got the letter L as our letter. Write down, students, as many verbs as you can think of that begin with the letter L. On your mark, get set, go. Time. Okay, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Anybody beat me with 11? Listen to the ones I have. Love, lick. I was thinking about this because my daughter, we were at Lagoon the other day, and she was trying to lick everybody's elbows. Not everyone, but the people in her family without us noticing while we were waiting in line. Lie. Oh, not good to lie. Lay down, laugh, lounge, leap, lean, lunge, lend, and loop. Can you loop? Can you loop around? You can, right? I think that's a verb. Right? We did a loop-de-loop. We looped around. So that can be a verb as well as, I think, a noun or an object. All right, last time. Another letter, an S. Okay, students, got 1 minute to see how many verbs you can come up with. Let's start with the letter S. Again, these are actions. Ready? Go. Time. That was fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I beat my last record. Students, how did you do? Sing, slurp, sew, stand, step, sigh, ski, swim, stitch, stink, splat, and stop. Okay, all verbs. Hey, I want you to take your autobiography, those of you who have written it, those of you who are getting ready to write it, and I want you to consider if you can add some different verbs into that autobiography, some more exciting, some powerful verbs that will make your sentences come to life. The more interesting your verbs are, the more your autobiography will wow me, will just stand out. So look back and see the action words that you have used, and see if you can replace them with some words that are even more exciting and even more fun. Okay? Great writers use powerful verbs, very specific and descriptive words. They don't use the same old thing, okay, all the time. Like I went, or I'm going, or we did. Okay, think of some new, fun, interesting verbs that you can use to describe what has happened to you in the past. Right? One last activity I want to do with you students. This has to do with spelling words that we worked on yesterday. I have got a mind reader game that I want to play with you. So number on your scratch paper, the one that you've been using to fill things out, number from 1 to 5. Okay. I'm going to see if you can read my mind and tell me what word I am thinking of. Okay. Let's see if I can make some more room here. Perfect. Okay. All right, I'm thinking of one of our spelling words this week, and it begins with a consonant. Okay, that's your first clue. Write down a guess of what word you think I might be thinking of. Okay, it doesn't begin with a vowel. It begins with a consonant. Write down by number 1 your guess of what I am thinking of. Okay. So I'm still thinking of the same word. That your next clue is that it begins with a consonant and ends with a consonant as well. Okay. Can you still use the word you thought of before, or do you need to change it for guess number 2? It begins with a consonant and ends with a consonant as well. Okay. Okay, I'm thinking of a word that begins with a consonant and ends with a consonant. It is a homophone that just has one pair, okay, that we have studied so far. That's your clue number 3. Okay. It's a homophone that just has one word that sounds the same as it, but has a different spelling and a different meaning. Okay. That eliminated one of your choices, maybe. Yeah. So, write another guess down. You think you know what word I'm thinking of. Okay. I'm thinking of one of our spelling words for this week, and this word is a word that has just a single vowel. Okay? It doesn't have a combination vowel in the middle of it. Okay? It just has a single vowel in the middle. Anybody know what I'm thinking of yet? Final clue. I am thinking of one of our spelling words for this week, and it is a word that is something that everybody would want and everybody would enjoy. Okay? Something everybody would want and everybody would enjoy having. Okay. I'm going to ask you if you have guessed my mind and see how many of you got it correct when we meet in our homeroom, okay, a little bit later. So I hope, right, keep your guess handy. I'll ask how many of you know what word I was thinking of if you were able to read my mind. Thanks, students. That's awesome. We'll catch you a little bit later in Wednesday's video, as well as in homeroom or in your team meetings if it's time for your team meeting today. We'll see you then.